Hey friends, welcome to the Royal Jam Custom Shop. I'm Mike Stanley, and this is another installment in What Did I Ever Do to You? Working on this classical guitar for a friend of mine. And this thing is pretty much foobar. The bridge, it popped right off. And I think he expects me to salvage these strings. It ain't gonna happen. Here they go. Let's just get these out of the way. Classical guitar strings are tied on, they're nylon, and they don't have quite as much tension as steel strings, but they still have a pretty fair amount of tension. Apparently there was enough tension to pull the bridge right off of this bad boy. And while I'm on the subject, this fingerboard has more DNA on it than the restroom at an adult bookstore. It's kind of disgusting. So we're going to clean that up too. I'm going to show you how to clean that up, and we're going to try to fix this bridge. I'm not going to make a whole lot of promises because I'm just not going to make a whole lot of promises. And I also noticed that it came in without the plastic bridge saddle that sits in here under the strings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing apart. I'm going to clean it all up. I'll show you how I clean it, and then I'll show you how to fix that bridge. Alright? It's got so much DNA on it. It's disgusting. Oh my God, look at this. I was just going to try cleaning that off with some Gorgamite, but this is going to need some steel wool. This here is 4.0 steel wool. I had to move my coffee away because this stuff will make some steel wool dust. I really should be wearing a respirator because I don't want to breathe the dust of the steel wool or the DNA that's going to come off of this puppy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just rub this down a little bit and get the worst of that finger scum off of it. Maybe get some of it off of the frets too. And I'm going to have to go over this with fretboard conditioner too. And this is really one of the worst I've seen in a while. Sometimes they come in with a little bit of DNA buildup, but I could pretty much make a kid out of all this. So I'm just going to try to take the worst of the thick of it off, and then I'll go back and clean it up with the Gorgamite. I use this Gorgamite. I'll show you this in a minute. This is great stuff, and thank you, Brother Ernie down at West End Music, for turning me on to that. I used to use steel wool and tongue oil. Still use tongue oil. We're just going to use some elbow grease here. That's a special kind of disgusting right there. Has a smell too. Smells like a cross between wet dog and county fair outhouse. It's like a piquant odor of barnyard. Oh, I can feel it here. It's good. He must have liked that B flat fret. I don't think this thing's ever been cleaned. And there's some divots in the fingerboard too, which is saying something when you have nylon strings. You know, they're soft. It takes a lot to dig a nylon string down into the fingerboard. This guy used this guitar to practice a lot. You might want to practice cleaning your fingerboard. This is going to take me a while, so when I'm done cleaning it with steel wool, I'll come back and show you how we condition this fingerboard. But I'm going to have to go over this a few times. Get this right. Alright, I want to show you this Gorgamite stuff. I got most of the chunky parts of the DNA off. This is Gorgamite, and it comes in a cloth. You cut little squares, or you cut like a little 2-inch square out of this stuff. That'll do a whole fingerboard. And this stuff's really good. It cuts right through this grease. You can see I did one fret here. You can see how much nicer that looks. But you still got to get the chunky stuff off. It says on the package you'll never use steel wool again. Well, that's not true. You're going to use steel wool all the time. But this stuff does get rid of most of the DNA pretty quickly. Some of you guys like to eat pudding with your hands and then play guitar or something, I don't know. But, you know, you want to get this stuff off your fingerboard because it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. And look at that. See how it's turning black? It's just getting that stuff off. It doesn't hurt the fingerboard. It actually conditions the wood, cleans your frets, makes your frets all shiny. Steel wool helps that too. But there's no abrasive in this, so it doesn't scratch up your fingerboard like the steel wool will. Because I don't think this thing had been cleaned since the Eisenhower administration. But look how that shines that up. And you can really see the difference now between the first 2 frets I did and these others. So I'm going to work my way all the way up the fingerboard. I'm going to get all this crap off. And once I get that, oh, I noticed something else too while I was working on it. You see this one tuning key here. This guy right here has a split in it. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. See, that's split. That's about to give way. We may have to replace those tuners too. This is a little piece of felt I used to kind of clean up after the gorgomite and get rid of all the steel wool dust that I'm about to breathe in. I may have to cut another square or go back over it with steel wool because I can actually feel the buildup. It's so thick in there. See, it just cuts right through it. But it is thick. Boy, I tell you what, if those folks at Gorgomite saw me doing this, they'd give me an endorsement because this is really a good product. Gorgomite. Find it at your local music store or retailer. Ask for it by name. They're not paying me to say that, but they should. It saves you a lot of work, and considering how much you charge, you know, it costs just as much to fix a cheap guitar as it does to fix an expensive one. You know, the labor you save me is the money you save you. Oh my God, I'm going to need a shower after this. Disgusting. Look at that. Ugh. Where's Mike Rowe? Get Mike Rowe in here. You want to see a dirty job, Mike? Huh? You think mucking out stalls for a pig farm is a big deal? Try cleaning DNA off of a classical guitar. Maybe I should put in for hazardous duty pay. I'm going to ask this guy if he has hepatitis C or something. I might have to start taking antibiotics right away. That's a little better. 3 down, 17 to go. So okay, I had to cut myself another piece of gorgomite because the first one has gone completely black. Look at that. Completely black. This, you know, gorgomite's supposed to be yellow when you first get it. You can kind of see it on the edge here. But I went through 2 pieces and now I'm going over it with a piece of white felt. And I'm just getting off the surplus oil. I'm actually not done yet with this fingerboard. I'm going to go back over it again with tung oil, which is a drying oil, actually acts like a finish. I've been polishing this thing for like an hour. You didn't see all that. The fingerboard's actually looking half decent now. I polish these frets a little too before I'm done. If you have one of these, clean your damn fingerboard every once in a while before you bring it into my shop. That's an hour's worth of work you're paying me to do. Our shop rates at the moment are about $40 an hour, so you can spend 10 bucks or less for gorgomite, or you can pay me $40 to clean your dang fingerboard. But that's looking pretty good now. I'm not embarrassed to touch this anymore. I am going to need a shower after I'm done. But now we're just about ready to start dealing with the real issues on this puppy, which is going to be this bridge, which is not attached. We're going to work on that next.